Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Pedestal by Society. My name is Brill. If this is the first time you've been in one of my live streams, welcome. All right, so I'm just going to wait a moment to wait for the rooms to fill up from Instagram to YouTube. And then we're going to jump into the conversation. We're going to talk about the rules to dating that women need to know. We're going to talk about doing it the pedestal wife way. So I'm just going to wait till everyone gets in from Instagram to YouTube. You already know the routine. If you don't like to be cut off in the middle of a conversation, then jump over to YouTube because I will not complete the live stream on Instagram. I always complete the live stream on YouTube. Okay. So I don't have to be distracted by, two screens. It can get very distracting when I have to look at what people are seeing on Instagram, then turn around and look at what people are seeing on YouTube. Hey, Lola. Hey Lola, Lola, I came across your channel, girl, and I just been loving it. I love your channel. I love your page. Y'all need to go and check her out. Hey Amina. Hey. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so let's get in here because we need to have our conversations. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know I post a lot about relationships and dating and the things that men and women are doing. And sometimes it's very disturbing when I'm coming across. I'm starting to realize that we need to go back. Y'all know how I am. I love to go back to the basics. I love to take it back to square one, to A, because we have to learn what is dating. I want you to think about what is dating. And if you have an answer for me, drop it down in the comments, drop it down in the chat. If you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, I need you to answer this question for me while I break down what is dating because I'm starting to realize there's men and women who do not understand what that is. First of all, dating is not sex. Dating is not sex. Write it down a second time. Write it down a third time. Dating is not sex. Dating is gathering information. That is what dating is. You should not go on dates with this high level of expectation or looking for specific outcomes because you do not know this person. Every person that you're currently meeting, they dated someone prior and they are in tune to that person, not you. So you need to realize that dating is an opportunity for you to gather information. It does not mean that you owe him anything and he doesn't owe you anything either. So if I see one more woman come across my screen crying and bawling her eyes out because a man is dating another woman when there's no commitment, I am going to barf because it lets me know that you have not been taught to date. You haven't been taught to date. Dating is a gathering of information. It means that you do not have a commitment with that person. He does not have a commitment with you. So we're gonna go and talk about dating and doing it the pedestal wife way. One of the things I love about this conversation is that when it comes to dating, mating, and marrying well, it's all about principles. Those principles have stood the test of time. We can still use some of the same principles that some of our grandmothers used in order to get married. Even if you have different things that you're currently using, y'all have different technology, you have different ways that you're dating a person, it still doesn't get out of the way of the principles. And so that's what we're going to learn today. We're going to learn some rules, and we're going to learn how to date, and we're going to learn how to do it in the way that the pedestal wife will do it. So first of all, stop going out with Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like just because you met him on the street corner, just because you like the way he bebop, doesn't mean you need to be going out with him. You need to give opportunity, space, and time for you to get to know him a little bit. It doesn't have to be a long time. I'm always cluing my women in that you do not want to stay texting with him and constantly on your phone with him all the time. But you need to realize you should not be going straight from him calling you and you going out on a date. Give y'all some time, give yourself call it a grace period. Give it a little bit of grace period that you get to know the other person, get to know a little bit about them, get to know what they stand for. Just get to know that person, especially if you're dating online. If you're dating online, there's whole catfishes out here. Men will not be disappointed if they actually got a woman on the screen. If you actually did the opportunity to do a FaceTime with a woman or a Zoom or any of these other apps that you all have access to, so you can see that person's face and see what they look like so that you can get to know them a little bit better because you can learn a picture tells 1,000 words. You can get to know a person based off what's in their background, what's in the home that they're living in. You can get to know them on that entire level. But stop going out with Tom, Dick, and Harry. We don't do that. We make sure we do some pre-vetting before we go out to them. Go out with them. That is why we don't have the situation that you all are having. Y'all are getting left with the tab. Y'all are getting left with y'all literally going on dates with men who do not have the means or are not in position to even take you out on a date. You're going out on dates with men who actually leave you at the restaurant. You're going out on dates with men who have no character, who are pushing for sex on the first date. But you would know that if you actually did some pre-vetting prior, you would know that, right? Because men who just want sex, they want sex anyway. You're sexy. You are gorgeous. You're sexy anyway. So they want sex. They're attracted to you. That's actually normal. So for some of you women who get in a tizzy because a man wants you sexually, sit down. That's what's going to initially bring him into you because he wants to sleep with you. But when he gets to know you and he gets to like you and wants to know more of you, he shouldn't try to fumble you by trying to jump into sex too soon. So stop going out with Tom, Dick, and Harry. Leave them where you found them at. If you haven't done any pre-vetting, don't just jump into going on dates. Utilize rotational dating. I know majority of men don't like rotational dating. You don't like the idea that a woman is dating other men, but you're dating other women. You're dating other women, sir. So rotational dating it is. Remember, dating is gathering information. It does not mean that you're having sex with anyone. That is the reason why I tell all women not to have sex until there's a commitment, because you won't fall into this issue. You won't fall into this problem where you slept with all of his friends or slept with people that he know, and then he knows that you're dating around. You're just sleeping around. Stop sleeping with men before commitment and utilize rotational dating. Utilize rotational dating. But here's the but. And this is where we're going to go ahead and cut off Instagram so I can get really into it. And we're going to finish up on YouTube. And I'll see you all. If you all want to join me, click the link in the stories and it'll take you right on my YouTube. And I'll see you all on the next one. Y'all know what it is. There was too many men in that live stream. They just be peeping. They just be peeping in every place where they shouldn't be. And so y'all know how I am. I don't like to give out information when too many men in the live stream. If you want to hide in the clouds on YouTube, fine. But if I see you on my Instagram, I got to close that out real quick, because I don't want you to know the rest of what I'm going to tell these ladies today. Alola said, oh my God, thank you so honored that you know who I am. What a blessing. Absolutely. I know who you are. I've watched some of your videos. I love some of your content. Even if we're teaching different things, I feel like some of the things you're teaching, the women need to know. They need to see it. They need to know. Especially some of your spiritual content. Y'all already know I'm a spiritual girly through and through. But let's get back to the rules. Rotational dating. Okay. First of all, why are you spending so much time with one man? The more that you spend with one man, the easier it is for you to bond. Your body is set up for bonding. Oxytocin is going to flow in your system. That's the reason why you feel so giddy. That's the reason why you feel so happy when you're with them. And the more that you do that, the more that you become attached. And so this is the reason why for you girls who get attached very quickly, you need rotational dating. I know some of you are like, oh, I don't want him to take from my energy. I can't see myself dating multiple men. I'm going to tell you that rotational dating is a game changer, because when you are dating multiple men, he's going to know. There isn't any way to hide that, because when you're not solely focused on him, men can kind of sense that other men are in the vicinity. They already know you're dating other men. And I'm not saying you should go up here and just blurt out and say, yes, I'm dating anybody. No, I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Keep to what you should have started at the very beginning, especially if you want to date for marriage. If you want to date for marriage, when a man says, what do you want? What are you dating for? What are you looking for? This is an opportunity to let him know I'm dating until my husband finds me. That is all you have to stick to. He's going to come around. Eventually, he's going to ask you, are you dating other men? And all you need to do is say, I'm dating for marriage. I'm dating until my husband finds me. Till my husband finds me, I'm going to continue to date. This is saying yes without saying yes, because they don't want to hear the yes. They don't want to hear the yes. Some men, it could also be very dangerous for you to say yes out loud to some men. And I say, pay attention. This is also a vetting technique, a vetting tool that you can utilize. You can pay attention to us. Is he having a connection? Is he having a attention tantrum? Is his voice getting louder? Like, is he angry at me because I'm dating other men? And if you notice that he has a temper, like if a man shows you a temper, do not pass, don't look over it. Don't pretend it didn't happen. This is how women end up dealing with abusive situations because they ignore the red flags. If men don't, I call it sweet communication. I like men to talk sweet to me. If they can't talk sweet to me, they're not my person. And you don't have to be like I am, but you want to look for a guy who's going to talk sweetly to you, who's going to want to kind of check his tone, who's going to want to soften around you. You want him to be that into you that he would never even raise his voice at you. Like even when he's angry, he's gonna probably like walk out the door and kind of walk it off. He may say, "Hey, look, I need a moment. Give me a moment. You know you don't make him angry, girl. You know you don't make him angry, right?" But he has discipline. He has emotional control. So instead of him blowing up at you, his person, his girl, his wife, his woman, what he does, he gonna walk it off. He might even go into that garage and start fixing on something. He might even go into the go and pull out his computer, start working on work. But he is gonna walk away versus actually getting angry with you and yelling and screaming at you. To me, that's a no-no. I don't want a man that don't have any emotional control, but he's gonna sit here and feel comfortable. Like this the comfortable part for me. That's what you need to be looking at. The comfortable part, where he's getting comfortable yelling and screaming at you. Then he don't think anything of you. And he may have emotional problems that you don't want to have to deal with. So do not use men to make other men jealous. Like, don't be going talking about with one man about the other men. Y'all, I've come across women who do that and it works for them, but it's a dangerous game you play. I don't want to give you anything that's going to be dangerous. It could possibly put you in danger because there are some unhinged people out in this world. That's men and women, but more men than women. And since there's unhinged people in this world, you have to always be thinking about your protection and your safety. So I don't want you to put yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, yeah, I'm just dating everybody. Oh, did I tell you what Harry did last time? Oh, did I tell you what Tom did last time? Do not have conversations and keep him in the dark as long as you possibly can. Because men want to pretend that no one else wants you but him. Keep him in that dark space, in that space where he believes that only one is talking, nobody's talking to you, but him, as long as you possibly can. All right. When you're asked the "what are you looking for" question, I don't agree with women telling you all to pretend that you don't know what you're looking for. I feel like that is a way to waste your time. That's the time, that's a way to waste the opportunity. Because when you're not direct and you beat around the bush, you don't speak up for what you need or what you desire from a man, he will give you what he's used to giving other women. And so I don't agree with pretending that you know nothing. But I don't agree also with telling him everything where he can just emulate it either. So there's a cap on how far and what you're going to tell him. So this is what I'm going to tell you to do. Tell him what you need and what you want, but don't go into details of the type of man. Don't give him the blueprint so all he has to do is recreate it. Give him enough so he knows what he needs to do when he's dealing with you. So he'll know, I like going to restaurants. I like, I like being given gifts. I like being taken care of. I like luxury. I like simple things. Whatever you're into, you want him to know that because most men are programmed for the woman before you and not of you. And since they're not programmed for you, you do have to give them enough so they know what to do for you. Because see, for you, it may not be acceptable that he doesn't open the door. But other women he was dating prior, he never had to open the door. Just like I came across this video, Inner Circle members, you already know what I'm talking about, because I put the video in Inner Circle because sometimes I can't put every video on my Instagram now because I got too many men that's following me and they have bad intentions. So I started putting certain pieces of content in the Inner Circle membership on, in our group. And one of the things that caught my eyes, the girl was like, he checked off all my boxes. Pretty much she's saying that he was great for her. Like it was a good choice for her. But then she said he just wasn't chivalrous enough. And I'm like, hold up. Did I hear you say chivalry? Chivalry? that you cut him off instead of actually taking the time to show him what you want. And now, since she said she had a conversation about it, I already know how that went. She probably talked at him and didn't communicate with him in the way and what she wanted from him. And see, there's ways to teach men things. And so let me give you a good example of this, because I can't go too deep in this. I'm being very careful about the audience and the type of women that I bring in. Because I know if I say the wrong things, I'm gonna bring the women in that don't care. They just really in feminine rage right now. And my platform isn't for the women who in feminine rage. My platform is the women who don't mind. They want marriage. They want to get married. They want to deal with men. They want commitment. They want divine union. So this is what my platform is for. So I gotta be careful. But I'm gonna give you an example of what you have to do. If he's checking off all your boxes, right? He's taking care of you, he's taking you out, y'all have good times together, y'all's values match, but he's not chivalrous. Don't dump him over that. Instead, you should realize, oh, here's a problem. He's used to probably not opening up doors. He's probably dated women who probably laid down, played dead, gave it away for free, didn't ask them nothing of him. And he's doing so well so far, but I want him to open up doors for me. Instead of you sitting here saying, we're going to have a conversation about you not opening up doors for me. Men do not, when I tell you, just starting that conversation off in that way just helps men's ears just to close up. They don't even hear you anymore. When you say, hey, we got to talk, they already closed off. You're not even starting the conversation off right. But you want him to be serious, you want him to open up doors. Then instead of when he goes through that door, you stand back outside of the door. And I want you to have a confused look on your face. Like, oh my gosh, what just happened here? Like, what? And then let him come back to retrieve you. Let him come back and ask you, what's wrong? And you can be like, well, I'm confused. I'm so used to men opening up doors for me. I'm so used to men opening doors for me. Like, I'm just confused. And let him open that door for you. Like, you can, and then once you do this over and over and over, if anybody knows what I mean when it comes to like not Maslow, it's another doctor that teaches us about how repetition teaches and how they get it to the point where it's embodiment. And that's what you want to see. If you want him to be more chivalrous, you want him to open up doors, you want him to pull out your chair, then you need to require that, not request it, not demand it. At least stand by your chair until he pulls the chair out and just look kind of confused and out of place. And let him pull out your chair, let him open up the door, let him do those things. Don't jump in because they're not chivalrous. Y'all have to realize we live in a time right now, unfortunately, where you might be, your standards up here, but he might have been dating a woman, her standards all the way down here. She didn't see anything better for herself. So she doesn't ask for anything better for herself. And I would love to say that all men are being conditioned to be a masculine, chivalrous, romantic man, and that's not what's happening. Like I literally came across a video recently where a mother got on TikTok. I don't know what platform she got on. I know it's floating around on TikTok. She got on the platform and she's arguing with women about them wanting certain things from her son. And so that is what you're dealing with. That's what's happening. You have mothers who care more about how their sons are dating, and they're telling their sons, we don't want you to do anything nice for women. You have to make sure this woman earned this. You have to make sure if she's going to give it to you, take advantage of it. Y'all have to realize that is not normal. As a woman who has 2 grown sons, that's not normal. I do not even insert myself in my son's dating. I do not insert myself in how my son should date. So that is not normal, but that is what's happening. So you have to realize they are being conditioned out of being gentlemen. They're being conditioned out of being chivalrous. So don't have a problem with it. As long as he treats you with respect and he's not disrespecting you, he's not trying to abuse you in any type of way. Some things can be trained. Some things can be taught. Okay, I'm not even going to go any further in that because I don't want to turn this video into something else. While dating, you have to decide, and I keep seeing this over and probably every live stream that I do. You have to decide, are you the feminine or are you the masculine? If you're the feminine, you have to allow him to lead and pursue. If you're the masculine, you can pursue and you can chase. You can do those things. But if you decide I'm going to be the feminine, then you have to let him call you, let him text you, allow him to make dates. You have to stay in the feminine principle. Now, can you return phone calls if he call you? Yes. I know that there's a whole bunch of conversations being had about, oh, you have to wait a certain amount of days or a certain amount of time in order to return a phone call. Don't do that foolishness. This is letting him know that you have interest towards him. You have to give him something back so that he has something to pursue. Basically, you have to drop something down. You cannot get a fish unless there's a hook. And so he has to know that she has some interest towards me. So you have to, if he's calling, answer the phone. If he's texting, answer the text. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is what I'm going to tell you to do. If there's no commitment, then you shouldn't be calling him. You shouldn't be texting him. You shouldn't be making dates. Even if after there is a commitment, you stay in the feminine principle. You stick to the feminine principle. Understand the masculine principle. It's very obvious. A lot of women don't understand men, and that saddens me. There is something powerful when a woman understands men. When she understands men, it's easier for her to figure out how to make things work and how to work with men, versus if you don't understand them, you have a hard time with dealing with them. I think, honestly, and this is my personal opinion, watching people date and having clients that are dating, is that women not understanding men is actually bringing around confusion. This is the reason why women are super confused about men, is because they don't understand them. And I don't think they think that they have to understand them, because there's this growing silliness that's on social media that says that men never understand women. They think that men don't understand women. I'm going to tell you that's not true. They learned how to read you to take advantage of you. They learned how to read you to play you. So they learn how to read you and to observe you to see what they can get from you. And even though you say that they know nothing about women, but they're doing just fine and playing women and getting what they want out of them. So I'm going to tell you that they have made it a life goal to understand women to a level that women don't understand women. So men do understand women. They know how to play you, so they must have understood something. You need to understand men. That is the reason why a lot of the women that, when I did my unlocking the male mindset, unlocking the male mind, I know it helped women to understand men on a whole nother level, because you need that knowledge. You need that information, because the more that you understand about men, you make dating easy. But the women who don't understand men, they make it hard. A woman who truly understands men, is so easier for her to date. Understanding men also makes you very aware that being able to be with the man, right, and allow him to have an opinion, it doesn't take anything away from you if you allow men to have an opinion. It doesn't change your opinion. It's not going to change who you are. Understanding me, this reason why understanding men is so important, because then you get the understanding that it's okay for them to have opinions. It's okay for them to have a different perspective. It's okay for them to do things differently than you do. But when you don't understand men, you just think men are just like women with mustaches. And men and women are different. That's the reason why it's so important for you to understand men. It is okay for them to have an opinion. You do not get to spend the time on dates debating, nagging, and complaining to a man. Stop it. Cut it out, because it's getting ridiculous that you want to go on dates and you want to debate him about his viewpoints and opinions. Just because you just met him, let me tell you a little secret. If no one tells you anything else, instead of just fussing at you, I'm going to tell you a little secret. A man is allowed to have an opinion because usually when a man gets to a level of falling in love or in any type of feeling with a man, he will be influenced by a woman. So even if he comes in and his opinion is different than yours, you may can influence his opinion later on. Don't take this as a way to control men, because you'll never find a secret recipe. Because if you find it, let me know what it is. Because I've been studying men all my life. I've been married for 23 years, and I can tell you there's no way to fully control a man. Men are considered to be somewhat next to like wild animals. You cannot control them, so stop trying. But you can't influence them. You can influence them. But when you go in and you're trying to change his opinion, you want to debate. And the reason I say debate, because I've had women that come over here and they try to debate me. Like, why are you debating me? So I know if you're trying to debate me, you're going on dates trying to debate men. And you shouldn't be trying to debate men. All it is it's anti-seductive. You're not seducing anyone. You're not bringing men into you. You're not creating that juiciness and attraction if he's trying to debate you. As soon as you try to debate him, as soon as you try to pull him into changing his perspective, you're already going to be looked at as a peer. If you want to be looked like as his homeboy or his friend or his one of the boys that he hangs around and has conversations with, then go ahead and do that. But when you change it and you try to debate him to change his perspective or his opinion, just remember you're going to be a peer instead of the woman that he can fall in love with. While dating, choose yourself. Why are you all making decisions based on one date or based on 2 dates or based on 3 dates? Why you're not committed to him, he has no choice. I want you to remember it's no commitment, no choice. This means he doesn't get to tell you how to live your life. He doesn't get to change your routine. He doesn't get to change the way you live. He doesn't get to change the way you communicate. He has no commitment, no choice. He has no say in the way that you live. So why are you allowing him that much choice when y'all are only dating? Y'all don't understand how many videos I come across when women are just dating men and they've gotten their heart broke. Why? Y'all are just dating. There's no commitment. He is free to do whatever he wants when y'all are just dating. Yes, he can go and knock up, get another girl pregnant. Yes, he can, because he's just dating you. He can go and talk to 2 or 3 different girls because he's dating you. He can go and have sex with other women. He's dating you. Now, things change when you get a verbal commitment, and you have to get a verbal commitment. It cannot look like y'all are committed. It cannot look like y'all are serious. It cannot look like y'all are exclusive. Y'all are making decisions because it looks like y'all exclusive. Just because he spends the night in your bed, he stays at your home, and y'all spend all y'all time together, it doesn't mean that y'all are committed. Did this man ever say that I want to commit to you? I want to be exclusive to you. I want to see where this goes. Know the difference between when you're dating or when you have a commitment. You will save yourself so much heartbreak when you understand the difference. You will save yourself so much tears and despair when you understand the difference. So let me pause here and just speak back. Hey, Joy, Daisy. So true. I hear so many women thinking the man doesn't understand he's getting everything he wants, and she's looking crazy. Yes. Sometimes I'm like, how do we get here? How do we get here to the point where women are getting played, but then y'all are concerned or upset that men aren't taking courses to become better husbands or better fathers? But y'all have to understand, men have made it their life goal to be able to read people. They're very good at it. If they weren't good at it, they wouldn't be able to play you. You wouldn't have got played by a person who just had a high school diploma because they're good at what they do. They observe you. They pay attention to things that you're not paying attention to. Men are getting like life lessons by learning women, while women have to actually be taught. We have to be taught. There has to be someone like myself or other women who are doing what I do, teaching women how to deal with men and understand them. But you still have a lot of women who fight against understanding men. You would be confused if you understood them. While you're dating, you're supposed to choose yourself. He is not your God. He is not your person. He's not your husband. Why are you deciding to move across states for a man that you're dating? And why are you all dating for 5 years? Not even going, now we're getting to the level we're not even going into having a girlfriend. So y'all have eliminated being girlfriend and boyfriend, but only thing now you're dating forever. And so you have to have some rules. If it causes confusion on where y'all are going, eliminate the guy. It's just that simple. You will be so much better off as soon as you are confused about where y'all are going, that you cut them off versus trying to figure out, how do I make it better? How do I show up and do things differently? How can I control him or make him do what I want? Stop trying to control men because you will never figure out a way to control them. Women have been trying to figure this out forever. The only way that you're ever going to get close to control is influence. And he has to willingly give that to you. You can't take it from him. You can't take control. You can't take influence from a person. Learn the rules so that you can break them. You cannot break rules that you don't understand. Because I'm always going to tell you, I don't adhere to rules. I don't sit here and put a lot of rules on my husband either. I prefer you ladies to have the type of man that he wants you so much that he's willing to apply and adhere to rules that he created, not ones that I created. The man that's going to go in and say, I need to be home by 5 because dinner's going to be ready. I need to not stay out too late because my wife is going to be concerned. I need to make sure I place a call because I'm going to be 30 minutes late. This is a man putting rules on himself and you not putting rules on him. The more rules that you put on a man, the more he's looking at his freedom disappearing. Men, the masculine principle is always concerned about their freedom. So the more that you look like that it's nothing but fools of rules and regulations, the further he will get away from you. The further and farther that he would run away from you, because masculine principle desires freedom. It desires freedom. And if he's with a woman that she has so many rules, so many regulations, so many requirements, and you can have all those, but you need to keep them up here. And you need to be able to discern which ones are the proper ones for him to know and which ones are just for me. Women think all of them are for him, and they aren't. Men should be putting rules on themselves. You shouldn't have a whole list of rules. The more rules that he's willing to put on himself, the more he's into you. The more rules that he's saying, oh, I got to make sure I call her at least once a day, or I need to text her at least once a day, or I need to connect with her to make sure to see how she's doing. You want him to do that versus you chasing after him. Hey, you need to call me. Hey, you need to make sure that we stay connected. Hey, you got to make sure we're going on dates. Stop doing that. That doesn't work. That's the only thing I love about dating is principles. The same principles that help get my grandmother married can also help me get married, can also help you get married. When it comes down to principles and the things that we adhere to in order to help us be successful and get the things that we want, those are the things I'm teaching on my YouTube. I'm teaching you principles. And I'm also making you aware that nothing is written in stone. You are the feminine. I don't think it's going to be written in stone. But I also know that you have enough information now that it'll make sure that you don't do something that's going to put you at a disadvantage. You're not his mother. I've seen a trend on TikTok where women are scheduling dentist appointments for men they just met. You're not his mother. We're getting into dangerous territory when we're creating something, starting anyway, that's going to be harmful to us overall. Because once you start making his appointments, picking up his slack, you're already taking over the masculine principle and you're not staying in the feminine principle. Remember, the feminine principle, you have to be pursued. He has to call you. He has to text you. He has to make those dates. But when you start sending out that mixed energy, when you started out in the feminine principle, and now since you saw something on TikTok or you saw something on social media, you decided to try that. And what it did, it put you in a masculine principle. And now he's like, let me go and rest. Let me go and chill. She got this. She's going to go and make sure we got dates. She's going to go ahead and make sure she's texting me. She's going to always reach out to me. She's going to always make sure she calls me. This is the reason why. Get to know men. Understand men so that you will not have so much confusion around them. Understand men that they want to hunt. They want to pursue you. They want to lead. They want you to be in the feminine principle. All right, so go ahead and drop any of your comments or anything in the comment section, because we're going to go ahead and have a true conversation about this. I'm giving you some structure, but I don't want anyone to take this as literal, because I know that there's some exceptions or something may happen that you may have to bend the rules. That's the reason I'm giving you some structure for dating that you need to know. I want you to realize when you go on a date, it's not a commitment. He owes you nothing. He owes you absolutely nothing. He can date as many women as he wants to. He can get someone pregnant, even though y'all are dating. He can sleep around, even though y'all are dating. You and him are nothing to each other until there's a commitment. Until that verbal commitment is given, y'all are just dating. Separate the two. Then you won't feel so guilty when you're dating other men. Some of you all feel guilty for dating other men because you've already made some kind of commitment also to this guy. And when you make commitments in that manner, or you look at the man as though he's your husband and you don't know him well, this can get you in trouble. And you're creating some form of attachment to the man. And attachments and bonds, they're nothing to play with. Like, that's the reason why women are getting their heart broken very easily. Very easily, because you're already attached to a man and you don't know. You don't know anything about this man. And it's not a certain amount of dates that creates a commitment. Remember, stick to is a verbal commitment. He has to say, hey, I'm committed to you. You're committed to me. We're going to see where this is going. For the women who want marriage, it should be a proposal. That is the commitment you desire. That's what you should be accepting. You should not want a consolation prize if you want marriage. Don't accept anything else but the ring. If you want marriage, if that's the only thing you want is marriage, don't accept anything but a ring. Don't accept anything but a proposal. Some things can be worked through when it comes to men. Men are flawed. They're flawed individuals. You will never find a perfect man. You will never find anyone of perfection. Perfection is not something you want to obtain either. People have went crazy, have had mental exhaustion trying to be perfect. So you should not be trying to seek out a man who is perfect. He has flaws and you have flaws. As long as it's not one of your non-negotiables, everything is a negotiation. I need you to take in that feminine negotiation energy in dating, where you're not looking for perfection. You're not looking for him to be perfect. You're looking for him to check off the values that you have. Like you're looking for him to have a great personality. You're looking for some chemistry. You're looking for some compatibility. But maybe he's not perfect. Maybe he doesn't know how to dress well. Maybe he puts his foot in his mouth sometimes. And that happens with men. They will put their foot, their whole foot, their entire foot in their mouths. Why do you all? That's another reason why people are like, why you didn't bring your husband on? Because my husband, if you think I'm blunt, okay? If you think I'm blunt, he is beyond me. I think he will offend the entire community because he is going to tell it like it is. He's not going to sacrifice your feelings. He's not going to coddle you because men will put their entire foot in their mouth. He may say the wrong thing and blur out the wrong thing. And the thing is, instead of you realizing this is how men are, you look at it as though, oh, he didn't say the right thing. He's done and on to the next. So you just keep moving around looking for this perfect specimen that doesn't exist because he will have some flaws. Instead of you looking for perfection, getting to the point of I'm willing to accept some flaws. Maybe I'm willing to accept that he can't dress. Maybe I'm willing that sometimes he puts his foot in his mouth and doesn't say the right thing. Maybe I'm willing to accept he's really blunt. Maybe I'm willing to accept that he just doesn't have the perfect thing, or have it all together in the way that I think you should have it together. But I know that me coming on the coming into his life and me being brought in his world, I'm an influence. Because let me give you a secret. Men have been following women forever. So men have been following women forever. A lot of the things that men do is for women. So you naturally already have some influence with him by being a woman. But once he gets to know you and he gets to know how you move and how you communicate with him and how you understand men and your value system and your moral code, he's drawn even in more with you, and he gives you more influence. He willingly hands over influence to you. So some of the things that you're doing, he picks up. Like maybe say, for the instance, in the morning, This man was sitting here having pancakes for breakfast. He realized that you eat very healthy. So what he does, he starts to eat healthy breakfasts. He sees that you like to exercise a little bit more every day. So he starts incorporating more exercise. He sees that you don't watch a lot of television, so he starts to read more. This is how women been influencing men since the beginning of time. We never went in it the way that women are currently doing it, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Nagging, complaining, demanding, it doesn't work with men. They don't want to go through a power play with you. Women that they have to go and do a power play with them, they usually drop or cut those women off. But you can influence. Sometimes influence is just being. It's not you telling him, oh, you got to start eating healthier at breakfast. It's just you eating healthy at breakfast, and he sees you eating. It's doing good. It's doing wonders for you. Your butt looks good. Your face and skin is clear. Let me go ahead and pick up some of those habits. Let me go ahead and be influenced by that. So maybe I've heard women say, well, I'm not going to date a guy because of the fact that he believes or he's very political. Maybe he doesn't have all the information. Maybe because of the fact you believe in some other political point, and he gets an idea of what that really stands for, what it really means, and get the understanding from you. You can influence that. There's a lot of things that women can influence men to be or become. The thing is, I don't want you to look at this as a tool to make your own man, because men are not projects. I want you to think about this when you're thinking about flaws, and you're looking at flaws and you're like, okay, is this a flaw that I can live with, and that it's going to be okay if it never changes? But I don't want you to think of influence as a way to control him, because when you try to control men, you will be on the other end of laughter, because men are not controllable. They aren't. But they can be influenced, since they do a lot of things for women. There's a whole effect going on. It's trending right now. It's called the girlfriend effect. And all the women are posting the men prior to being their boyfriends and what they look like. And all it is influence. He was influenced by her to change the way he dressed. So even if he looked raggedy, I've seen some women saying, I'm not dating this guy because he looked raggedy. He had on shoes that looked like he had holes in it. Girl, if this man can provide for you, has a value system, will be a great husband and father, we can change those shoes. We can upgrade those shoes. We can upgrade those clothing. What you can't do is change a person's value system. You can't change a person's nasty attitude. You can't change a person's nasty mentality. Little things like that lets me know a lot of women don't understand men and don't understand the influences they carry with men. Men will change their eating habits. They'll work out more. They'll go to the doctor more. They'll do so many things to please a woman. They'll upgrade their clothing. They'll change the type of shoes that they wear. They'll even change the type of places they go. They'll drop friends for you. He will eliminate his entire circle for a woman. He will cut them all off. The influence from a woman is very powerful. But he has to give that to you. And you have to be a great candidate for him to give you influence. This means you can't go in saying, I don't like this, I don't like that. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you speak. I don't like the way you dress. And then you just complaining and just tearing him down and not realizing this is not a good way to influence a man. You want to influence a man, you have to learn how to stroke his ego. You have to learn how to give him compliments. You have to learn how to appreciate him. And this is how you're going to get him to give you influence. And once he gives you influence, men don't just take it back either. I want you to think about all of the men, and this is probably morbid, but I think this is the best example of how men don't take back influence once they care about you and they fall in love. Think about all the men who have went and killed another person based off the influence of a woman. Do y'all want to know how that is most women don't do the dirty work. Men go and do it. Why do you think that? It's because women are the biggest influence that men have. And a woman can get a man to go against everything he is and go and take someone out. So you over here worrying about him having on bad shoes or him not speaking well, You don't like the fact that maybe he curses every sentence, or he used bad English, or he doesn't sound articulate, or he doesn't sound intelligent. Y'all are looking at the wrong things. Does he have your value system? Is he financially stable? Is he into you and wanting to give you the world? Baby, take that influence and create that wife effect, and you'll have a whole new man, and he'll be influenced by you. You're getting up and looking gorgeous going out. He's going to want to do better. You're eating healthy. He's going to want to do that also. Men are constantly doing things to get the attention of women, and women don't understand that it's all for you. This is so important. Men are very easily influenced by women, not controlled. Then you can just let them think it was their idea. Yes, do it all the time. You let them think it's their idea. And you're okay if he takes credit for it. There's so many ideas that I've given my husband. I just let him take credit for it. I don't care. It still benefits me overall. I can still reap the benefits of the idea, even if I get no credit. See, the thing is, when it comes to that, you have to decide, do I want to be the feminine, or do I want to be the masculine? The masculine wants the credit and the respect for the ideas. The feminine wants the love, attention, and validation and care. When I show men that I don't eat sugar and flour, they just start copying me. They do. That's the reason I said men are so easy, but you have to understand what you're dealing with. You have to get away from this mentality that these men are like aliens or something. They are different, but once you understand them, they're so much easier to work with. Like, I can tell that women don't understand men, because since you don't understand men, you do things and you kill off a good relationship, or you let go of a good man that might be the perfect man for you. He's an imperfect being, but he's perfect for you. You don't understand that a man is supposed to come with flaws. He's supposed to, just like you come with flaws. And focus on the things that matter. Does he have the value system that you have? Because values is what keeps a relationship and longevity of that relationship moving forward. Does he have the values? Does he have a great personality? He's a good, like most of the time, he's a happy individual overall. He's not mean. He's not angry. He's not upset all the time. He has a great personality. He's so easy to be around. So he's easy to be around. He has a great value system. He lives by moral code. He's financially stable. I think we can work with everything. We can work with everything else. Like, y'all are, like, sometimes I really believe that a lot of women are looking for another woman. You're looking for him to operate in the way that you operate as a woman, not realizing that he's a man. Men and women are different, and it's meant that way by design. I truly do believe God gave men something that we don't utilize. Not that we don't have, because we have the way a woman's brains work. We're working and operating on all cylinders. And since we're working and operating on all cylinders, we don't utilize all of it. Why not have the counterpart, our person, the person we're committing in divine union with? Why not have them utilize that part? Because if we're always operating on all cylinders and we're utilizing all of our energy and all of our abilities, we will be burnt out and tired. And some women are already burnt out and tired. They just don't want to admit it. They want to continue this farce that we can do it all and we want to be it all, when we shouldn't be trying to do it all. I'm going to tell you what I need to tell you every single time, every live stream, so you get it through. I want every woman to remember this. Just because women are everything doesn't mean we need to be everything. A great leader learns how to delegate. So you get the counterpart, the divine union, the commitment, the person who can be a great person to delegate to. Let them go and do those things that burn us out. Let them go and make those decisions that take a lot out of us. Let them go out here and get the bag and secure our future. That's what great leaders do. Leaders, just because they know that they can lead and they can do everything, they always learn how to delegate so that they can grow and elevate and evolve. If I decide I'm going to do it all because I'm great at it, and I am, women are, that's the reason why it's an agenda out here for women to be used in that way. That's the reason why corporations are hunting for women. They want more women, because if you were to go and check and go, you can go look this up. I guarantee you, the corporations who are heavily with a lot of women, they're making a lot of money because having those women is like having batteries. Like having all the women and all the energy focus in on that company and corporation is money. And women don't understand when they're being taken advantage of. That's a whole nother conversation. So I'll drop that there. But women have to understand just because you can do it all doesn't mean you should. You should learn how to delegate. Your job in dating is to find someone that you can delegate to, someone who will be influenced by you, not controlled, but influenced by you to go out here and secure your future and make sure you help you create that wonderful family that you desire. Stick to the feminine principles. Stop trying to throw out mixed energy. You can't be feminine one moment and then masculine the next. If you stick to the feminine principles throughout the entire relationship, he'll know and recognize that, and he'll stay in that position. There's something called law of polarity, where if there's good, there's bad. If there's death, there's life. So if there's a feminine, there's a masculine. So if you're taking on the masculine principle, he has to take on the feminine principle. Or he can refuse and be neutral. So if you're going to be feminine in the beginning, be feminine in the end. Allow him to pursue you. Allow him to make the first move. You cannot decide to be the masculine principle and, be the person to make the first move and then be upset when he's not caring about your feelings. Or be upset because he's not, treating you like the delicate flower that you are. Please tell us how we can figure out what his value system is. I've been working on understanding men. It's benefiting me so much with my son. It's making our relationship even more beautiful. Yes, I don't know what it is about understanding men that helps because, y'all know I have two older sons. I have two young men. And understanding men has helped me to understand how to get them to go in the direction of helping themselves and creating a beautiful careers and life for themselves. But if I didn't understand men, I would probably go about it wrong and getting my sons on the right path. And yes, my husband is there, of course. We're both working as a team, working as a complement to each other to make sure they're going in the right direction. But it's helpful because I understand men. The value system. See, the tricky thing is in order to set a man's value system, you have to get to know the man. Like there's no shortcut to really knowing what a man's value system is. I'm showing you my values right now. You can tell that I pretty much value women and the success of women by coming and doing live streams when I could be doing something else. You show your values. You shouldn't be listening to people tell you them. People can tell you that I'm a good person. I do this and I do that. They want to be acknowledged as that, but they probably aren't that because no one is going to tell you I'm a good person. So the value system, you have to be observant. You have to be observant in what a man values. If a man is truly family oriented, he's going to take every opportunity that he has to attend family functions. So he probably goes to barbecues. He probably goes to Sunday dinner. That is how you're going to figure out his value system. You're going to have to get to know him on an individual level and kind of observe where he lands at. You're going to observe, is he speaking to his family? You're going to observe, let's say if you want integrity as a part of the value system that you want him to have, is he a person that lies to you? Is he a person that lies to you? Does he have a sense of integrity? You can kind of observe him doing that. Is he getting on the phone lying to his friends and his families? Because if he's lying to them, there's nothing wrong. He's going to lie to you too. Okay, so you have to observe. This is the reason why I want you to, open up your ears and keep your eyes open and not get so attached to this man that you're not observing him. That is how you're going to learn his value system. Because people lie about what their value system is. That is one of the things I've learned. Because I remember myself when I was going through this process and I was like, Grandma, how do I know? She taught me it's in his past. It's what he did in his past that actually tells you what his value system is. If a man values family, then if he has kids, he's going to be spending time with his kids. If a man values his family, he's going to take the time to make sure that he spends time with his kids and he's not spending more time with you than he is his own kids. So if you ain't ever seen those kids and you're like, where they at? Where they at? Are they here? Are they there? You like, where his kids at? He say he got 3 kids, but he always spend all his time with me. He can't spend all his time with you and be a good father. So you have to look at that as that's a part of his value system. That's what he truly values. He told me he was a good father, but he don't spend no time with his kids. So you gotta observe. You gotta observe. It's all a value system is in someone's past and how they live their lives. So true. You show value by what you commit to. Absolutely. What he's committed to. How is he living his life? That's how you're gonna know he's what his value system is. Because he's gonna lie to you. If you're leaning on asking him a question to try to get what his value system is, y'all have to realize in that first couple of months is what we consider like what beginning that honeymoon season where everything is lovely, everything is great, and they tell you everything you want to hear. But if you listen to that, you may be tricked and deceived. You may be being told a lie. That's the reason why you better look at his action and observe how he deals with things. This is going to tell you an indicator of his value system. There's no question that's going to give you an honest answer in that. But what will give you an honest answer is when you have those initial conversations, when you're asking him more about himself and you're asking about his family, you're asking about if he has children. I want you to observe is what he's saying lining up what he's doing. If he's saying, oh yeah, I'm a family guy, but then he don't spend any time with family. You don't even see him receiving phone calls from his family. And then you get deeper into it and he tells you about his family issues and how everybody got him blocked and nobody's speaking to him. Do y'all know that men who are useful are going to be useful to family also and not just to you? So he's going to have family that's going to reach out to him to get opinion or advice. If you're not seeing that happen, y'all, there's something wrong. Unless all his family dead and gone, if he's a good guy, the family's going to be reaching out to him. They're going to be reaching out with him to make that connection. But we don't reach out to people that we don't have any, that we don't care about, that aren't adding value to our lives. We tend to block those out. I dated a man who would shut his phone off during the day, even though he had a 2-year-old daughter. I knew he was a bad father absolutely right then. Because you don't know no mother is going to shut her phone off. If my kids, and I only have one child that is like my baby girl, she graduates in the next 6 months. So I keep my phone on for her. Everybody else is grown. But I would never shut my phone off and be unreachable. His daughter is 24 now and he still doesn't prioritize her. I was right. Absolutely. People tell on themselves. People will tell you, I'm a good person. I give to the poor. I help anybody that I come across. I'll give my shirt off my back and give it to a person in need. Y'all watch your actions. You will see them kick a homeless. You will see them ignore family members in need. You will see them mistreat their kids. You will see them disrespect the women in their life. Pay attention. It's there. Everything you need to know about a person's value system is right in front of you. You're just not paying attention. We're operating in a way, when it comes to that communication, we're operating in a way as though he's another woman. Women will tell the truth and communicate the truth about themselves to a certain degree. Men do not. They will not. You have to observe it. I've come across women that are like, I don't want to talk to this man because he don't talk. What? Y'all, that's the perfect opportunity to sit in silence and eat your food. I love a stoic man. I love a man that don't run his mouth. I love a man who's not a motor mouth. Just because he doesn't talk, but he's stable. He has a great career. He wants you. He wants to get married. He has the same value system as you. And you are turning this man away because he doesn't talk. Girl, learn how to be quiet. Go have a conversation with your girlfriend. Go have a conversation with a family member. Go have a conversation with your best friend. And just sit in silence with that man. Because men love silence. Men love silence. So there's nothing wrong with him being silent. It doesn't mean he's hiding anything. He just may be super awkward. He may be unsure of himself. And that's actually not a bad thing. I think we should do a video of profile pics. What do y'all think? Like, what do y'all think about doing a video of profile pics? Because I be hiding out in this group, right? And this group posts the profile pics of men. And every time I look at the profile pic, I say he's not a good man. I be right all the time. I be right all the time. When I tell you my intuition be intuition, my intuition is top tier. All I gotta do is look at a profile pic and I already picked the right guy. And I always know. And for some women, for certain reasons, I don't know why women, when a man is curating pictures, you're not gonna have a good time. You're not gonna have a good time. Women go for these men who creating pictures who are look like that they are models, and you go for straight for that guy. Y'all are not picking the right guys. Maybe we need to do like a live stream and we look at profile pics. I don't know if YouTube would like that. They might take it down though. So maybe I have to figure out another way to do that. But I got to do it because I'm in this group and women post pictures of the guys, right? And they ask opinions, and I'm always right. Like, I done got good at being right about the type of guys that they should talk to and they shouldn't. And it's not my group. It's not my group, by the way. How do you differentiate if he has a toxic family he steers clear of to no fault of his own, and it's almost all of them? First of all, men who have a toxic family, they don't let you know that. I would be very wary if the first conversation is being had is that he has a toxic family. Men who have a toxic family, you have to get to know him before he even gives you that information. But he still should have friends that he's having conversations with, that people who want to get his advice or opinions. Good men are still good men. They're good men to everybody, not just you. I love men who are awkward and don't talk. Once he's mine, this means he won't be talking to other women either. Lola, women don't get it. They want him to talk. They don't understand. Men who are stoic, who are awkward, who are uncertain, that is your guy. That is a guy that will make you his whole world, because he doesn't have a lot of friends. He has some friends, but he doesn't have a lot of friends. He will make you his whole world. He's still gonna have, he's healthy enough to have his own world and have his own separate thing going on. But when it comes to you, he's not gonna play about you, because he's been on other dates where women stopped talking to him because he wasn't a good conversationalist. I love men who are awkward, don't talk. This mean what? Okay, I think it just repeated. It repeated itself. That's okay. I love a stoic man. I don't want a motor mouth. I don't want someone who's constantly talking, because I like to hear myself think sometimes. So stop throwing men away because they're not doing a lot of talking. Allow yourself to eat in silence and enjoy the meal. Let him get comfortable with you. Some men are trying to build up the courage to figure out what to say next. Some men are trying to figure out how not to mess it up. So they're quiet because they think they're going to say the wrong thing. And he probably will, because men put their whole foot in their mouth. When I tell you understanding men is a game changer, understanding how they operate, it leads to less confusion. And then it's easier, like when you understand a man, it's easier for him to give you an influence because you understand him. You're understand him on a level other women don't. Some women turned him away because he wasn't talking enough. Some women turned him away because he wasn't dressed to the nines. Some women turned him away because he was a little awkward. Some women turned him away because he put his foot in his mouth. But you understanding men, you know how to deal with these situations. Unless the man is disrespectful, there's no reason of addressing it. If he's just putting his foot in his mouth and he's just saying the wrong thing because he's nervous, there's nothing to say. You can kind of brush over it and keep moving forward. But if he's disrespectful, that's the only time I would expect you to be like, look, that's something that I cannot have. I don't deal with men who curse around me, or I don't deal with men who say what you just said. That's unacceptable. Okay? That's the only thing you need to do. You don't have to give him a whole, you're not his mother. You don't have to take him to task. You just need to speak up on it, especially if you don't want to repeat. Because since men have been reading us since the beginning of time, they made it their life goal to understand women. They learn what we allow. And as soon as we allow it, they repeat it. So if it's something you don't want to repeat it, there's nothing wrong with saying, look, that makes me uncomfortable. When you say stuff like that, it makes me super uncomfortable. And I know you don't want me uncomfortable. Let him know. Because what you allow, he learned. And what you allow, he continues. So you want to go ahead and make sure you put your foot down when there's situations where he's being disrespectful or where he's put his foot in his mouth and it's just the wrong thing and you don't want him to repeat that, then you can say something. But if it's something you can just brush off and move forward, brush it off and move forward. I love men who's about that action. Absolute joy, you just said the perfect thing. When men do stuff that you like and you want it to continue, it's positive reinforcement. So if he does something you like, you be like, I love being with men who open the door. I love being with men who pull out my chair. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Like you have to, whatever you allow will continue. And whatever you want to continue, you need to appreciate. And this goes with understanding men. When you understand that men are very simple, and some of y'all are fumbling good men for little things, flaws, minor things that can be influenced out of him later. The things that women have approached me with of reason why they stopped talking to a guy. That's the reason why we created this live stream. And those reasons weren't good reasons. Now I can see if he was combative, aggressive, or abusive, block him and move around. He doesn't fit your value system, block him and move around. But stop turning men away because they're not saying it in the way that you want him to say it. He's not so articulate. He doesn't communicate in the way you think he should communicate. A lot of times he just communicates in the way a man communicates. And since we haven't taken the time to understand men, we don't know how men communicate. Like when I realized that when we don't know how men communicate, that's the reason why I started doing a lot more content towards that. And by the way, let me pause here for a second. In the chat is the website to get that 25% off. Right now, I will be running that all the way up till Saturday. So you want to go ahead and get that 25% discount off because once Thanksgiving is over with, 2024 prices will hit my website and the prices are going to change. So go and grab it, especially the Unlocking the Male Mindset. Well, I keep seeing mindset. Maybe I should have named it that because I keep seeing it. But it's Unlocking the Male Mind. It helps you understand men. You need to understand men. It gives you all the science and the things about men that you don't know. And having that information will change the game for you. Because then when he is not seeing things properly or the way you think he should, you're realizing he's just speaking like a man. He's just speaking like a man. Like he is not dressing in the way you think he should dress. You realize, oh, all I need to do is have influence. And then he'll just be influenced by the way that I do things. You can literally go on social media and realize a lot of women don't have influence over the men that they are with. This is not me just saying you need influence. It's me going by science by Dr. John Gottman. He says that you need influence. He says no relationship will last unless you have influence. So if I can't do something in my world and my husband isn't influenced by it, it's a problem. I should be able to do things. He sees it's working for me and be influenced by it. I should be able to state my opinion and he being influenced by it and he takes some of those opinions as his own or ideas as his own. He will willingly give that to you if you give him acceptance. Most people are looking for acceptance. I keep telling y'all that's the magic formula. Most people just want to be accepted. They just want to be wanted. They just want to be accepted for who they are. They don't want to know that you want to change how they dress. change how they speak, change how they walk, change what they drive, change where they work. They want to know that where they are currently right now in this moment in time, that they can be accepted. And then if they get acceptance from you, they will be influenced by you. So I don't have anything else. If you have anything else, you go ahead and drop it in the chat, or a question that you want to ask, go ahead and drop it in the chat so we can, I'll answer that. And then I'll get ready to close out because I'm going to be going to lunch with my daughter today because they're taking it as a challenge to see who can go out to lunch with mom. But if we keep to these, to some structure of that while dating, I hate to say rules because I'm still, most of us in here, we operate from the feminine principle, and rules for us are meant to be broken. I just want to give you some structure to your dating so that you have something to go by basically. Like rules are also meant to be broken. Never forget that. Never take anything I say literal because maybe there's a situation or an inception that you're in right now where you have to absolutely bend the rule to fit your life. Do so. Do it. But we keep to this frame, this structure of dating, so we make it easy. As we're dating, we only have one strategy if we are dating for marriage. That is dating, fiance, and marriage. There is no go between. There's no consolation prizes. We're not the friends with benefits. We're not the situationships. We're not the girlfriend. We only accept the thing that we want for commitment. Basically, he proposes, then we give him commitment. Then you can go ahead and call all the other guys and say, hey, look, I'm getting married in a couple of months. I'm laughing because that reminded me of how I did it. Because I'm not teaching you anything I didn't do for myself. I did it this exact same way. I was rotationally dating, and then when my now husband, proposed to me, I got on the phone, had to bring out the old book, and like, hey, I'm getting married in a couple of months, so we can't see each other anymore. I can't talk to you. We can just be friends. And I went man after man, just letting him down. And that's what you should be doing. What do you think about the man that asked for verbal commitment on the second date? I would tell that man, I said, I'm flattered that you want to commit me so soon, but I think we need a little bit more. We need to date a little bit more. I would not give a verbal commitment on a second date. There's some science that says men are not even all the way in until they had at least 10 dates with you. I'm not saying you have to go by 10 because a woman will know if he's into her. But the science says he needs 10, so I know second is a little too soon. I've heard of women saying that men come in and ask for a verbal commitment on the first date. Don't do it. Men are trying, okay. This is where understanding yourself as a woman also comes into play. See, you as a woman, men understand that if they can get you attached very quickly, that you will stay around for the long haul, that you will be the ride or die. So men try to get you attached very quickly. They know the more times they spend texting, calling, going on dates with you, the more that you would get attached. And the more that you get attached, the more that they will be able to do anything that they want. So men try to move very quickly, get you in the bed, get you in a commitment. The faster they do that, the easier it is for them to do whatever they want. And so women have to stop giving verbal commitment to giving a man any type of commitment until you receive what you're looking for. Don't give any type of commitment until you receive what you want first. Remember, the masculine moves 2 times before the feminine even moves once. So if you are trying to date for marriage, then you don't accept anything other than a proposal. The first date, second date, third date is too soon. They're just trying to hook you so that they can do whatever they want to do because they understand how I told you all, women think that men do not know anything about women. You all are being deceived. Men know enough. They've made their life goal to understand women. Why? So that they can approach you, so they can have sex with you, so they can use your energy. So they've made their life goal to understand women. It's women who don't understand men. Men understand if I can get her hooked fast, she gonna be my ride or die. She gonna be sitting here attached to me while I'm out here dating other women, sleeping around, having babies, doing any and everything, and just wilding out. Men understand women because if they didn't understand women, they wouldn't figure out how to get you attached really quickly. That's the reason why some of them trying to move to sex real quick. They're like, let me get her in the bed. Let me go ahead and create this tie. Let me go create this soul tie between me and her, and she gonna be so invested that she ain't gonna let me go. I have a journal just for your lives. Do you have a journal? Actually, I do have a journal. I just haven't put it on the market yet. I'm waiting. I have a plan for the journal. Let me show you all the journal. I don't think I ever showed you all the journal. Let me see if the camera can pick it up. See? That's your journal. I have an entire journal. Oh, it ain't gonna show you the stuff that's inside. I just haven't put it out yet. But I have an entire journal that I'm gonna put out to the community probably in January. I'm just taking my time with it to make sure it's up to the standards of a pedestal wife. What does the verbal commitment actually mean? What is the promise? Okay, the verbal commitment should be he's going to only be with you. This means he's only going to date you. He's only going to be want to be with you. Now, if you're not looking for marriage, your commitment is going to look different. So, if you're looking for marriage, your verbal commitment should be a proposal. If you're not looking for marriage and you're just wanting to have some type of commitment or divine a sort of union with the man, then you're going to have a verbal commitment where it's exclusive. He's going to offer you being exclusive, where he's not going to date anybody else and you're not going to date anybody else. And pretty much what you got down, Lola, a promise. Because that's all it is. Is there a ring involved in a verbal commitment? Is that when we start rotational dating? Like I said, if you're dating for marriage, then you want a ring. There should be a ring involved. There should be an entire proposal involved. And for some of us who very old school, he should have went to your father and asked for permission to even marry you. He should have went to a family member. Before I got married, my husband went to my family and they asked could he marry me because we're old school. So absolutely, there should be a ring. If he's going to give you a verbal commitment, a verbal promise, and y'all are not getting married, where's the exchange? If he's asking me to abstain from all other men, not date any other men, what is he offering me? If you're not looking for marriage, now this is the conversation with women who are not looking for marriage. If you're not looking for marriage, you saying yes and getting nothing back gives you nothing. Him giving you a verbal promise is not enough. The masculine takes two steps, you take one. So if he's asking for a commitment to you, and see, you're taking the biggest risk as a woman. You're taking the biggest risk. So if you're not looking for marriage and you don't want to be married, marriage is not the goal for you. He should ask for. You should get a verbal commitment, but there should be something else of an exchange. There should be something else because you're gonna be abstaining from all of the men. So what are you getting for that? Now, if you're looking dating for marriage, right, you're gonna get the ring in his last name. But if you're not dating for marriage, what are you getting? Like you should be thinking, what am I getting? Am I just getting me not dating anybody else and just dating him? Like, is there money, apartment, health insurance? What is involved? How is this? Is there something involved for me just abstaining from other men? There better be. Because you're taking the biggest risk if you're deciding I don't want marriage. You better get something. And then once you get that commitment, and you're not, like I said, this is for the women who are not asking or wanting marriage, then you can stop rotational dating if you're going to commit to him. I did a video to say not don't give a commit at all. Like the best thing to do if you want to continue dating other men and you want to still get all the benefits of that particular man, just continue dating all of them. Like don't offer any type of commitment. You may need to tell him instead of accepting his not ability to be exclusive. How about just saying, hey, well look, right now I'm just dating, I'm having fun, I'm getting to know people, instead of giving him any type of exclusive access to you, especially if you're not dating for marriage. Don't give exclusive access. Why would you cut off the whole rotation for one man if there's not a reason for it? Is it right to say that before I agreed to a verbal commitment that he would be willing to take care of me as my requirement for commitment? Uh, you're supposed to be setting the stage from the very first date that you're the type of woman that requires care. Like that's the very first thing. If he doesn't know by then, something is wrong. You don't wait until he's ready to offer a commitment and say, hey, well, you need to take care of me. He should know in the very beginning that he is supposed to take care of you. When he asks you what you're looking for, if it's for marriage, you're supposed to say, I'm dating until my husband finds me, until I want to have like 2 kids and I'm going to be a stay-at-home mother and wife. If that doesn't say I have to be taken care of, that says I have to be taken care of just in that statement. But if y'all are not dating for marriage, that's a whole nother thing. You need to say, what am I looking for? I am looking for someone that I can have a commitment with that's willing to be generous and take care of me. Like, be honest about that in the very beginning. You don't spring that on him at the very last moment when you want to be exclusive. What do you think about his paying bills right after verbal commitment? Absolutely. I think that if for women who want to be married, you're as being the fiance, he should start taking over and stepping in that role as the fiance and taking care of your bills and taking care of all the things and the essentials. If he's not your fiance and y'all are just, y'all just want to be committed to each other, then you should have set that stage long before. You always set the stage before. You don't do it ever after. Like, what are you waiting for? That's what my question would be. Like, why would y'all wait till he's giving a verbal commitment to tell him that you want him to take care of you? Y'all are not, you don't have a goal in mind in dating. Like, if you're dating for you all just to receive from him, then that's a whole nother ball game. You do things differently. You're gonna do that at the very first date. The very first date. He asked you what you're looking for. Well, I'm looking for a man that's looking for commitment, that's gonna take care of me, and he's gonna be very generous. That's all you're gonna do. You're setting the stage for him to realize I want a man that's gonna be generous. I want a man that's gonna take care of me. But if a woman is looking for marriage, she's gonna do it differently. She's looking for something long term. Did you have a big wedding or was it a small intimate? We did not do the wedding thing. We had a dinner. We went to the Justice of Peace, said our vows, and then we had a dinner after. And then I had a renewal on my 20th year, we had a renewal. No, because the reason why we didn't do like a big wedding either is because my family and his family offered us land. If you know anything about me, if you tell me I'm going to give you a wedding and it's going to be paid for, but you can have the wedding or you can have the land. Me and my husband saw the potential and what we could do with the land. So we own land. So we took the land and we decided to forego the wedding. Yeah, so what I don't want to do is kind of confuse women. When we're talking marriage, we do it one way. If you're looking for commitment and for him to take care of you, you do it a whole nother way. You need to start off on the very first date, him getting used to giving you what you want. He should be honestly doing things a lot sooner because y'all are looking for the commitment. You're looking for him to take care of you. Getting married, we're vetting, we're doing things in a specific way so that we can marry well. I would take a house paid in full over a big wedding. Absolutely. So what happened was when we took the land, we were able to build my husband built me a house. So 23 years old, I had my brand new house. And then when we moved to the city, we sold the house and we got a little nest egg. So we live even better now. You gotta be smart too. Think about if I'd have been like, oh my gosh, we can't do that. I want that wedding. That's foolishness. I'm gonna take the thing that's gonna amplify and help us live our best lives. I could have went for the wedding, but I had the wisdom to realize it's best just to have the land. All right, so I don't have anything else, and we're already in an hour 26, and people are already complaining about the videos being too long. So we're gonna go ahead and stop here. I appreciate you all for being here. I appreciate Inner Circle members and Pedestal Watch for being in the building. I will see you all on the next one. You all have a wonderful Thanksgiving.